The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Hey, this is Mark Beckman with Independent Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here. We decided to change it up a little bit. I'm helping folks with their Medicare and TennCare questions. If you've got Medicare Part A and Part B, if you've got TennCare to go along with that, you most likely qualify for extra benefits at no cost. Please give us a call, 866-691-5571.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. Doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
Or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart, 423-566-5000, 566-5000.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Campbell County Issues. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by Value Mart. Value Mart, Tennessee Outdoors in Huntsville. Folks, they still got that special going on these Amana Whirlpool side-by-side washer and dryer. And as most of you know, you go check them out. And these are brand new washer and dryer. The two will cost you together $1,000 or more. Well, they still have them on sale, and they're brand new. They're not dented up or wrecked or whatever. Brand new products. Get them both for under $700. If you just want to buy them one at a time, now they will let you have them for $3.88 each. So go over and tell them RL sent you. Also, Value Mart, their furniture store, and their Tennessee Outdoors is a different store, and they have all your hunting stuff. They have guns, they have ammunition, they have bows, and they have arrows, they have guns, the big hunting guns and all this. They got that stuff for you, and all kind of fishing tackle, stuff like that. Both stores are fairly new as far as, well, they are brand new where they're at right now. They've been there less than a year, but they have moved from another location, and they're right on the 4-lane in Huntsville. So you can't miss it. When you pass the courthouse, it's just a mile and a half out on the right, and you can't miss it. Also, Value Mart, Tennessee Value Homes, True Value Homes in Huntsville. You got property, you got a home, and they also finance it for you. And they have as nice a home as you can see. And folks, from the interstate at 141, it's 19 miles. That's closer than being to Knoxville. You're going to get these. They don't have the overhead ever. They don't even have. They got a septic tank. They don't have septic overhead. They got a lot of things, and they're right there, so convenient for you. And they have the people that can pull that thing and put it in place for you, about any place you want them. They put them on the side of the mountains or this and that. So go over there. And Keith Klopfelter, he's here in Campbell County. Most of you know him. He ran for state representative one time, and so Keith is well known, and he knows this business. So you can give him a call, and let me just find that number. I got it here, folks. It's 663 8633. 663-8633. Also, bringing you tonight's show is Ron's Golf Carts and La Follette Indoor Flea Market. Now, he's got a special down there, folks. Now, I am not bullying you. He's got a special on a club car. It's a 2009. It's like brand new. And it is gasoline for $3,795. That golf cart, brand new, it sells between $8,000 and $10,000. And club cars, if you know anything about golf carts or certain club cars, their chassis and stuff is this aluminum that this never rusts or anything. They can go on and forever, ever, even if their motor quits. And this thing has got the carrier for work. All right, 4 of you can ride with ease on it, or you can make a work wagon out of it, but laying it down, and it's the back seat becomes a workplace. All this kind of stuff. If you live on a farm, and I'm telling you now, if I didn't already have one, it'd be in my garage. It'd definitely be in my garage tomorrow. And it's like it's brand new. And he also has some less expensive ones that's electric. He's got one down there. I believe he's got it marked at $12.90, and it's a club car also. And you know, put new tires on it, and I don't know how old those batteries are. And those things last forever. I mean, ever and ever. So check him out. That's Ron's Golf Carts and your La Follette Indoor Flea Market. So I don't know who else I got to talk about tonight. I'm going to talk about. Oh, yeah. I know that there, we have a commercial, but Razaks, folks, on your way over to Brimstone tomorrow or Friday and Saturday, you need to just go by and see all three of those sponsors of mine and tell them you seen it on RL Show. Go by and now, and also I want to tell you this, and then I will take your phone calls, I promise. Camp Razor, there will be many hundreds and at least I'm going to say between 20 and 30,000 people will be at Camp Razor Friday and Saturday. And folks, if you just want to go to the concerts and you get it online, now you go, because the way I got the light there, it's blinding me, and I got to turn around here where I can see this thing. I'm going blind, folks. You just, it's Camp RZR, Brimstone.com, and you can purchase your tickets without having to stand in line, because you just go over there Friday, you'll stand in line forever. Also, if you're going in to ride into the thing, it's probably for the weekends probably $45, $50 in somewhere in that neighborhood, because you live here in Campbell County. If you're in Scott County, it's $44. So there's just a little difference, not that much difference, but you can ride in Huntsville Friday morning from whenever it's daylight till dark. And you ride in the town of Huntsville on your ATVs or your side-by-side, but you must have a helmet on. Now I'm ready to take your calls. So anyway, I know I've had a couple of calls, but I need to get all that done. And now I want to make plain about this Camp Razor deal. Camp Razor is, you just cannot beat the price. $25 for 2 days. You're on the air.
Hey, Oriole.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing about the same.
Well, I wanted to call and check on you because I'm supposed to have surgery last week.
Well, I had surgery last Tuesday, and I don't know yet what the effects is. It's not been a whole lot of change, but there has been some change, and I go back to the doctor Wednesday. Okay?
Okay, we're praying for you, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, bye.
You're on the air. Hello.
How you doing?
Well, I can't say I'm out of the woods yet, but there has been a little bit of a change, but not to the change that I need. But
well, I hope the best for you to get better.
I appreciate that. And listen, regardless of what goes on, unless I die, I had a goal to be here till I'm 75. I got a year and 10 months to.
Hey, that's good.
So
I forgot a question for everybody out there. I wanted to ask them if they've seen any strange and oddities from this weather we had this year. We had a cherry tree that bloomed and had cherries on them, and the birds eat them, and then that was in spring of the year, and then here in September it bloomed out a big white bloom on it. And also we had I think it's called a drains of flower. It didn't bloom in the spring, and now it's trying to bloom out here in September.
yeah, I've seen some of that stuff too, but I've watched the news, and the El Nino, it's in the ocean, in the Pacific Ocean. It's warmer than usual, and normally whenever it does that, we end up with a wetter winters and a lot more snow and stuff. And we don't need a whole lot more snow.
Ooh, I hope not.
And I've always kept an eye on the squirrels. And,
Yeah.
and I believe the squirrels, because, you know, squirrels, they use their tail as a blanket. And when they're in their nest, the tail, it lays over top of them and it acts as a blanket. And I've noticed that the squirrels, what few I've seen, they were very bushy. I've seen one though that didn't have any tail. The dog must have got a hold of it or something or other. But it's just, it's one of those things. But everything will be fine. We always get through them, don't we?
Yeah, we got to, don't we?
That's right.
Thank you, Earl.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, and I got a question to ask, because we got, and I don't know where you all have any of this going on and having a lot of scare about water. But I'm going to spell a word here for you. I cannot pronounce this word. In fact, there's a whole lot of simple words that I cannot pronounce. But I'm going to, and then if there's anyone here that has heard this word, or some of the kids, because in Scott County, we've got 2 kids that's got this particular problem, and we'll talk about that if there's anybody here in Campbell County, and I can give you some information. It's C-R-Y. You got a pencil, and anybody that's got a computer to look it up and call in and tell me what it is. It's C-R-Y P-T-O-S-P-O-R-I-D-I-O-S-I-S. Now, I was told last night that East Tennessee has 17 kids in Children's Hospital or have been in Children's Hospital with that disease, and we've got 2, and because the Environmental Protection Agency and the water, I don't know where you guys has got a letter to saying, you know, that your water has got some bacteria in it that's making your drinking water not as safe as it wants, the same kind of grading that they once were getting, because the EPA has changed their rating ways, and some of the stuff that they weren't rating before is rated now. But I did get it confirmed that this particular germ is not in your water source as far as your drinking water. It's in like swimming pools or these little water things where they shoot up and stuff like that. That's where they're more likely getting this particular bug. So if there's anybody out there that can tell me what that bug is. Now, I read up on it today and trying to understand it enough to take away any of your. Basically, that particular bug, once you get that bug, you'll always have that bug. It can't be killed. Not yet. They don't know how to destroy that bug. But usually when you get it, your body will take over enough to, and it's usually a diarrhea, not particularly high fevers, just nauseated, vomiting, stuff like that. And it's nothing that's killing kids, but it's causing a lot of stress and pain in kids and their families, because it's something that cannot be totally cured. So I wanted to pass that on, and if any of you have seen the symptoms of the kids or any of those things, just remember it's something that's not going to kill your kids, and not to be overly, well, we're always concerned about our kids, but anyway, it's something that's there should be able to shake this thing in a matter of 10 to 14 days. So, but if there's anybody can look up that and call in and pronounce that word for me, I greatly appreciate it. And I know that there's people out there that can do that. I know that Ann Hester, with the way that she can write and do this and that, I'm sure that she could pronounce that word and tell us more about it. I would say, and I know there's a whole lot of people out there that watches my show, a lot of people that can call and tell us about that. Bob Fannin or Jerry or Hazel Valley, they can, you're on the air.
Ariel,
Uh-huh.
spell that word again,
Oh, okay.
please.
It's C-R-Y
Okay.
P-T-O,
E-O.
yeah, P-T-O, S-P-O, R-I-D, I-O,
R-I-D.
R-I-D, I-O-S-I-S.
I-O-S-I-S.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna try and look that up and I'll see what it is, okay?
Okay, and can you pronounce it?
No, I can't pronounce it.
I can't
But
either.
I have it in this, I'm gonna
I'd say it's K-R,
Mayo Clinic book,
yeah.
and I'll see if I can find it in there.
Okay, and call us back.
Okay, I'll call you back if I can find it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. And then also, I don't know where you all, I know you listen to the news, and I don't know how much the news but it was a sad day in Scott County this weekend, folks. I know some of you had heard about some of the things that happened in Scott County. You know, the jet airplane that crashed with the wings over the Big South Fork, which has happened for the last 12 years. We've had the air show. Well, the guy that was flying that airplane, he had strong connections to Scott County. In fact, he married a girl from Scott County. And I mean, he probably flown in it every year. And the plane, it was a Russian MiG, a fighter plane that, well, you know, that he had purchased. I guess, I don't know where he purchased it from, Russia or whatever. He was a good flyer and been doing that a long, long time. But anyway, whenever he took off, the plane stalled and he wasn't high enough. He did eject from the plane, but he didn't get high enough to where his chute could open. Now that's what I was told. And and the young man that you see talking about the thing there on the news, the pilot was his uncle. So anyway, that happened. And then it turned right around. Just a few hours later, a young man riding on a four-wheeler, which we've had over the 8 years that I've been involved in it, we've had 4 people to be killed in ATVs with, you know, at least 250,000 people riding those trails, those mountains in the 8 years that I've been involved. At least 250,000. But a couple of them was on the road that goes around on the River Road, where the people were just going so fast that they couldn't make curves with those things and go over the embankment or run straight into a tree. And then we had a 70-something-year-old man, this is about 4 years ago, that he didn't get killed on the trail. He actually had a heart attack and died and wrecked, and that was the autopsy. It's a heart attack, and he'd had a heart attack before. And I actually got to talk to his girlfriend believe it or not, this man was in his 70s from Chicago. And he had his girlfriend with him, which she was probably in her 40s, not any older than that. And she was at the restaurant, and she said she didn't blame anybody on what happened. He was doing exactly what he loved to do. But now this weekend, it was an 18-year-old. He was trying to jump an embankment that they said was not more than 4 or 5 foot high. And he hit and fell. The machine came back on him because he went back off, and the machine, instead of going sideways or this way, it went straight back on him, and the handlebars hit him in the face and killed him. And so anyway, there's 2 people that died. Then not long after that, believe it or not, just across the state line up in Kentucky, somebody fell off of a cattle truck and killed them. It was just a terrible week. You're on the air.
That word is pronounced cryptosporidiosis.
Cryptosporidiosis. Okay, now, I still can't pronounce it, but can you tell me what all it does?
No.
Okay.
I just looked it up. Any word you don't know how to say, you can type it into Google. Put pronounce, and then spell the word, and it'll bring either up a sound clip or a YouTube video of how to say it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll wear that one out. Now, what do I have to do?
You just go to Google and type in pronounce, and then the word.
Okay. Appreciate that.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye. So anyway, it was just a bad week for those kind of things. Now we'll have a safe weekend, folks, and it's going to be fun. And listen, I tell you, for $25 to get into the event and drive your car and ride down, and you can go up and down that mountain. They'll take you up and down that mountain or to your parking area. Now the event is down on the river. It's not on top of the mountain anymore. It's down on the river, and you can drive around through there. It's no big problem. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy.
Hey.
You're looking pretty good.
Well, thank you.
Sounding good. We'll just have to take you to the garage and plug you in for a little while and get you charged back up.
Okay.
Hey, you're talking about tragedy over the weekend. Have you heard anything about Zelensky's wife?
Yes.
Can you go into that a little bit for the viewing audience?
Well, only thing that I know.
I'm gonna get off here and let you so I can listen to you.
Okay.
Catch you later. Bring us up to date on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Now I'm just telling you what I know, and then we'll go to break. What I've been told. I have no idea, because the autopsy has not come back. But now I was told that she was found not at the newspaper office, but one of the Alpines, which they've got, I think, 2, one down in Jacksboro and one here in La Follette, that smokeless tobacco. And I was told that she was found at one of the Alpines sitting at a desk in her chair, and that there was no sign of any kind of foul play or any bruises or anything but that's all I know. That's everything I know, except I know that she was taken for an autopsy, and other than I believe that she passed away on Friday. So maybe we'll hear something about that within the next week or so. Anyway, when you're on go to Scott County this week, I don't know who you are, how many you are, stop into my sponsors so they'll stay with us for another month or 2, we hope. So anyway, I'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare, those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
A Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high-output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Okay, we're back, folks. Just let me read here on what Brimstone this weekend. This is unreal. I don't know how they're doing it. I truly don't. But Camp Razor, it's by Polaris. 4x4s and 2x2s and whatever. That, you know, those rides. And they're very, very popular. But they're the sponsors of this. And they are giving away, Camp Razor Brimstone is bigger and better than ever, with action spanning the entire weekend on September the 18th and 19th, with over $200,000 in prize giveaway. Performance by John Pardee and Jake Owens, and 300 plus miles of trails to ride. Camp Razor Brimstone is the can't miss off-road trail event of the year. Camp Razor Brimstone is bigger and better than ever. Don't miss out on $200,000 in prize giveaway. They're going to give away a 2016 RZR XP Turbo giveaway, which that's a machine that's worth $20,000 to $22,000. 2 big nights of epic live music. John Pardee and Jake Owens, all new riding activities for the whole family. 300 miles of amazing trail riding. Now here's another thing. John Pardee, David Fannin will be there. I don't know where's any kin to Bob and them or not, but David Fannin will be on Friday night, and Jake Owens with Old Dominion will be there on Saturday night. And folks, the unbelievable price for the 2 nights if you want to drive over in your car in Scott County, and drive to one of their parking lots, and you can't miss those parking lots, they'll have transportation to take you into the venue. You can take your chair, or you can sit on the hay bales or whatever, and have just a great night, 2 nights of music of 2 of the top country music artists right now in the United States. They're not the ones that's 10 years back or 20 years back, and a lot of like us old folks, we like to go and see, but there won't be as many of us go to see those kind of people as there is these young kids that are going out to see today's stars. And I'm telling you, these are stars. But $25, you get on your computer and you can, man, I'm telling you right now, I'm having a hard, I can't see my glasses. I don't know what it's. Okay, it's CampRZRBrimstone.com, and you buy your tickets today. Also, bringing you tonight's show is Tennessee Outdoors. That's part of Value Mart. Tennessee Outdoors is bringing you tonight's show, and they have the Husqvarna zero-turn mowers, and they have this. They have U-Haul trucks. They have about anything you need. But the big thing is guns and ammunition. All the ammunition you want, I'd say, is they have it at Tennessee Outdoors. And also, True Value Homes, bringing you tonight's show. True Value Homes. I don't know how he does it, but he's selling a lot of homes. And like I said, they don't have a big overhead like the other people do. So they can pass those savings on to you, plus they can put you in a home. If you've got property, and you got a lot of property, you can hey, you can start a business with the way they got this thing set up, and them being, you got property, and you can finance there, and you got a fairly decent income, or that can last where you can get renters into place. Like, you can start a business with what they've got right now set up for you. And that's 423-663-8633. I was asked to ask this question, and as you all know, I'm not a Donald Trump fan, not at all. I really believe that some of the things that he said is there are words that I've heard before from a lot of other people, no question about it. But the things that he says that he'd do, and he's never been an elected official, I just hope that people don't take that stuff at heart. I'm telling you right now, I'm myself, I had great thoughts, boy, if I'm ever elected, this is what I'm going to do. I got taught a good lesson. I'm going to make sure that every company that resides in Scott County is going to pay their taxes. But whenever I was heck bound, and I use a little stronger adjective than that, but that this company or these companies was going to pay their property taxes, or else. Well, we had one company that hadn't paid their property taxes probably 20 years, and several $1,000s behind. Well, you could only collect on 10 years. anything past 10 years could not be collected. So, okay, they had been going on for 20 to 30 years and hadn't paid their taxes. So we was able to recover that 10 years. But we had another company and that employed over 400 people. And they had a plant down in Sunbright and one in Scott County. So I go sit down and talk to management, and I said, you know, we need to collect these taxes. And he said, well, you don't know the previous administration and what kind of deal we worked out, basically with the mayor, I guess, but we're not going to pay those taxes. And I said, well, that's not what's going to happen. He said, no, we're not paying those taxes, because what we'll do, we'll just close these doors and we'll just move our operations down to Sunbright. Well, you know and I know that right here in Campbell County, how many of you out there was working at small factory facilities, especially the one down here in Jacksboro, one or two of them that moved to Scott County because they didn't want to pay their taxes and moved to Scott County, and they stayed over there for just a little while. Then they, and actually Oneida built them a building, probably $1 million building. It was pretty good sized building. It's making trailers. They didn't stay there no time till they left. So when you think that you can go out here and you can force and make these things happen, you're, well, just put it bluntly, you're crazy, because you can't do it. You're misinformed. You're not done your homework. And I'm not campaigning against Donald Trump. I'd like to see Donald Trump get the Republican nomination, because I think it'd be the easiest one of all those people to beat in the election. You're on the air.
Yes, that word that you spelled out, I can't pronounce it, but it is a parasite.
Right.
That gets into like hot tubs and swimming pools and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And the part that I read said that if you were, you know, in fairly good health, that you could get over it.
Uh-huh.
But there's also a medication that you can take, and I can't remember the name of it. It was in that part that I read, and it was worse on older people that were in poor health, because they said babies could actually come out of it.
Right. Well, now it doesn't necessarily kill you. What it does, it just makes you so weak and sick for so long. And like you said, the sicker you are, the more damage it'll do to you.
Uh-huh.
And it is a parasite that there's nothing that right now that will actually kill it, but it'll, I guess, make it dormant where it don't continue to produce these ill feelings that you have.
Right. And it said that it was worldwide. I mean, it's
yes.
Concentrated in one spot or whatever.
Right. And the thing about it, like I said, a person that works in the medical field in Scott County called me last night and said, well, we have 2 cases in Scott County, and right here in Tennessee, East Tennessee right now, we have 17. And so I don't know if there's anybody here in Campbell County or any kids that has it or not, but it's just like your little water park down there. Those are the kind of places that they show up in.
Right.
And I'm not telling anybody to quit using the little water park or the pools or whatever. But
well, it said that it was had grown what is it, chloroform and chlorophyll or whatever. Doesn't do anything for it.
right. Oh, okay. Appreciate Appreciate your call, and thanks for looking it up. Thank you. Bye-bye. So anyway, get back to the Trump question. I was asked to ask the question, if Trump came to, had a rally in Campbell County, Scott County, and McCrae County, Kentucky, and picked out a spot, would you attend? You're on the air.
Hello, do you know when the pumpkin festival is?
No, I don't. Well, now the Pumpkin Festival, are you talking about one over at Allard or here?
Other one here.
I have no idea.
Alright.
Maybe somebody will call me and let me know, okay?
Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. So, I know that Jerry Chadwell, week before last and last week too, which I thank you, Jerry, for filling in for me, buddy. And I hope people turn in and watch you on Wednesday nights. But I know you guys are sold on Donald Trump somewhat. So would you actually go attend a rally for Donald Trump? You're on the air.
RL.
Uh-huh.
I looked that up in the Mayo Clinic book,
Uh-huh.
and it said infection is caused by an intestinal parasite that's commonly found in animals. You contact it when you ingest contaminated food or water.
Yeah, and mostly cats and dogs.
The parasite grows in your intestines and bile ducts, leading to severe chronic diarrhea in people with AIDS, and they had AIDS in capital letters, AIDS.
Me.
So that's all I could find. They didn't have no cure for it.
No cure for it. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. But would you attend a Donald Trump rally if he came into this area? I'm gonna tell you, I'm not ashamed. I still think that Hillary will be the nominee, and I think she will be the president. But I wouldn't go to a rally of Hillary Clinton. I won't go to any of the rallies. I've gotten where I don't hardly trust anybody anymore, but I do trust I guess I'm trying to figure out what word I want to use. I guess the successes that her husband had, I don't know whether she would be as bold or as good as he was, but I do know that we had our employment rates was great. I don't remember a whole lot of wars or deaths going on when Clinton was president. And then this Iran thing, I'm totally for them trying to work out problems instead of going to war. Tell me one thing that was successful in the Iraqi war. One little thing. There's not one. You're on the air.
The word you're looking for is Democrat. Say it with me. Come on now.
I'm a Democrat. I'm more of a Democrat, but I do vote Republican on some cases.
And I know what you were saying about Trump and everything, about getting things done and all the promises. But my friend, you better watch what you wish for about who you want to run against the Democrat Party.
Well, I honestly, I would...
all the polls, you tell me one poll, if you've seen any of them at all, that he is not at least 5 points ahead of any Democrat, any state, any poll. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be wanting to pick him to run.
That's now.
That's now.
Yeah, but I honest. Now, if I was a strategist and if I wanted to see what's happening right now, it would be that this deal with Hillary comes up now, not in the general election. Get it over with. Either get her out. Don't let her be the nominee. But we don't have anybody over on this. Now I'm telling you, I like some of the words that Sanders stands for, but he's totally a complete socialist.
Oh, well,
and
yeah, Bush man myself. But I mean, I'm telling you, Trump is gonna walk with this. You watch and see if he don't. I mean, because it's gonna be the end thing. America's all about the end thing, you know, and that's just the way it's become.
Yeah, but did you hear what Jeb said about Trump the other night?
Which one? Which time?
Well, he said that if you believe Trump, he's going to build a wall around Russia
right.
and make Mexico pay for it.
Exactly. Now, he's got the money to hire him a good speech man, and he will. And it'll get interesting in the debates when he does.
Well, the debate this Wednesday night, I'd rather watch that debate than coming up this Wednesday night than I would the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm with you too. But could you imagine now if he is in a debate with Hillary and they're allowed to ask each other questions? Now, what will she do if he asks some of the questions that she don't want to answer now?
Well, I think that she'll tear him all to pieces. Because you know,
I don't know, because see, people don't expect all the political questions from him to be right.
I understand that.
But they don't get the questions answered that they ask her neither. You know, it's dodge. And you know it as well as I do. Now, there's a lot of things that, she has absolutely dodged out. And I agree, her husband done a wonderful job. I voted for him, and I'm a registered Republican, buddy. I did vote for him because he done a hell of a job.
Yeah.
But, just because he did, don't mean that she will.
I understand that.
But you better watch what you wish for about Noel, baby, because, right now, it's not looking good for nobody but him.
Appreciate your call.
See you, buddy.
Thank you. There's one thing to remember. He's never been over 50% on any of these polls. You're on the air.
Hi there. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great.
Well, listen, I wouldn't go to a Trump rally, and I'll tell you why. I think he is a businessman, not a politician. A lot of questions that he has been asked, he couldn't answer.
No.
And I think that he's a narcissist. I don't know. I think it's a big show. I think that when it comes down Wednesday night, that he is going to be attacked, because I think that just like that radio interview he did, he didn't know any of the questions. He didn't know any of the answers. And there's a big difference in building buildings and being a businessman,
right?
And how to deal with the world.
And
there's a big difference there. And for me, I'm liberal. I'm between liberal and Democrat. And if I was going to vote for someone, it would be between Hillary and Bernie Sanders, because I don't think that Bernie Sanders will win because he is such a liberal. But I think Donald Trump has given this election the carnival-type atmosphere that we're seeing on TV. As far as substance, no. I don't believe that he will go any further than that.
I don't either, and I might be wrong, but here's one of the things that he says, and here's some of the things that just blows my mind. He says that, speaking of the military, Trump wants America to have a strong military again. Now, I don't know what he means about a strong military again. I think that we got the strongest military that we've ever had because of technology. And how could, right now, we're almost like the Iraqi war. We spent $1.5 trillion on the Iraqi war. How much more can we afford to spend on an army to sit here and wait and see whether we're going to fight again? I mean, there's not an army. I don't believe that the whole world put them together right now with the technology that we have, we can destroy the whole world if we choose to do so.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And, you know, over there in the Middle East, they've been fighting for thousands of years.
They'll never quit.
No, they'll never quit. I mean, it's just like inbred in every generation. And, you know, it's like I was telling Jerry the other night, you know, that's the thing. Their religion, their morals, in the name of their God, Allah, they believe they can kill anyone or anybody. That's not going to be something that can be.
Well, we're beginning to act like the same thing. You take Cruz and Huckabee and some of those guys, and Lindsay, in the name of religion, we're getting in the same boat that those people have been fighting over thousands of years, because one believes one way and the other one believes something else, and in their own country, and they kill each other over religion.
Yeah.
And here we seem supposed to have the freedom of religion, but if you tell someone that you believe a little different in what they believe, why, they'll quit talking to you.
Well, you know, that's happened to me. I mean, I'm originally from Florida, and, you know, when I moved up here, you know, I've always believed in God. I've always been a believer. But I think that sometimes some of the moralistic behavior that people are showing in this situation, what I'm trying to say is that we all have morals. That's the one thing that divides us and puts us all together. And this is the land of the free.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
We have our freedom of speech taken away. We have someone, you know, this one's saying this one's going to hell for doing this and all this stuff. Well, the point is we're all human beings.
Right.
And we have the right to have our own belief system. You know, and I'm afraid eventually it's going to continue to get worse. I mean, you look at all the racial things that have went on in this year, you know, and all these different things that Kim Davis up in Kentucky. You know, if she has her belief, that's fine, okay? But don't be in that job situation and then go against a government ruling. If you don't believe in it, I understand. She wants her name off. That's her belief. That's cool. But we need to get to a part of society. We accept people for exactly who they are and not what our morals tell us that we or them should.
Yeah, if you don't act like me, then I will not associate with you, or I will not grant you your wishes. And if you're an elected official, you don't have a choice.
No.
And anyway, I just don't understand it myself. And why would anyone that's truly a believer just absolutely, and especially in America, because America was about the freedom of religion, and it's however you want to believe, and if you believe in Allah, well, what's the big problem? Allah means God to them.
Yeah.
What's the problem? I mean, I don't believe in Allah.
No,
I believe in God. But if I had been born a Muslim in a Muslim family, I would have been believing in Allah instead of God. But what is Allah? Allah is another word for their God. What they believe in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way, just like the Vatican. How many people in this general area, how many Catholic people live in La Follette? They may be 10 or 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the thing about it is, we all supposed to have and if you believe in America and American way, then how could you be so against everybody having the same rights? Now, I don't believe in really gay marriage, because I'm not gay or I don't know anybody that's gay. But I do believe that gays, if they love each other, it's none of my business.
That's the way I feel. That's the way I feel.
And they should, if they live with each other, just like I seen these two ladies, they've been living together as husband and wife for over 50 years. They're in their 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And they were allowed to get married a month or 2 or 3 ago, or whatever. And why did they marry? Because all other stuff. So one of them said, whenever I die and the other one is still here, she gets my rights. She gets my Social Security. She gets my property. She gets, and whatever, because that's been my love of my life for over 50 years. So why should we deprive them of that?
Well, I want to commend you for saying that in a small town, because RL, that's why I always watch your show, because you're the only person that I have seen on television here that thinks the way you do, because most of the time you hear people about this one being different or that, and people get condemned, and I just want to tell you that means a lot to me.
I appreciate it.
Okay, you have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, we've got to take a break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Mark Beckman with Independent Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here. We decided to change it up a little bit. I'm helping folks with their Medicare and TennCare questions. If you've got Medicare Part A and Part B, if you've got TennCare to go along with that, you most likely qualify for extra benefits at no cost. Please give us a call, 866-691-5571.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Okay, folks, now if you're going to Brimstone this weekend, Camp Razor, be sure you go out and you visit our friends at True Value Homes, Tennessee Outdoor, and Razax, and just let them know that I talked about them over here. That's basically all. And folks, you also can do some shopping while you're there. But you don't have to. Just stop by and say hi. that you'll know, that they know you know where they're at. And you can get you a great meal at Razak's while you're there, and just good old friendly, down home folks to talk to at Tennessee Outdoors, and Value Mart, their furniture store. Dennis and Judy is just fabulous people, folks. I'm just telling you, they're second to none. And they got this Amana washer and dryer by Whirlpool, and you can get them both for $6.99. That's about a $300 savings. You can't beat it. And again, if you're just a young folks, just like Honeybee here, she says she loves Jake Owens. You couldn't see Jake Owens for $12.50 nowhere else in the world. It's going to cost you $70 to $90 to just get into one of his concerts. But this coming weekend, that's how big it's going to be. And then next Saturday week, then you got the Scott County High School, that's the festival, which is just unreal for a high school. They put it on the last Saturday in September every year. And folks, it's just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now, anyway, I can talk to you about any issue you want to talk about, but I want to read something else, Donald Trump, and I know you all, probably a lot of you out there believe the same way. Trump believes that America should be not investing in military for other countries' problems without being compensated for doing so. If America is going to risk the lives of soldiers and incur the expense of going to war, then the nation we are helping must be willing to pay for our help. So we're going to be a country that's for hire. We'll go to war for you if you'll just pay the bill. That sounds good, doesn't it? But the people that usually, and I'd have to say Cheney and Mr. Bush they probably really improved their wealth immensely, because $1.5 trillion that's is spent. How do they track it? Whenever I've told you before, and I'm honest to God, and I've told you, and there was a military person told me that he was on a plane that was going to Iraq that had skids. Now, I mean, not just pallets of $100 bills. That had been $500, but the biggest bill that America prints now is a $100 bill. Now they print bonds and stuff. It's unreal. But currency is a $100 bill. That's it. That's the biggest. But then he goes on and says that every family that lost a loved one in the war should be given $2 million. If they were injured, but in death, they should be given $5 million. So, where's all this money going to come from? Let's debate it. Somebody call me. Let's debate it. And again, I hope he wins the primaries. I really do, because I don't think he has a prayer in the general. And I guess if I had to pick one person that I honestly could vote for on the Republican side, would be John Kasich. I remember what John Kasich and Newt Gingrich and Bill Clinton did to balance our budget in the mid-90s. But it just, and after Bill Clinton, who came in, who got elected, and that's where everything went straight downhill, and no one is willing to admit that. And they say Obama's the worst president we've ever had. I don't see that either. General Motors wouldn't be existing today if he hadn't fought so hard to keep General Motors going under. A lot of people said, let it go. At one time, our whole country, I mean, everything was based on General Motors. So let's just let it go and then let's buy, and then I heard a person call saying yesterday, you know, we ought to quit buying Fords because they're moving their plant to Mexico. But how many of you people is out there that honestly truly knows the truth about Volkswagen? Volkswagen was a family name in Germany. And who backed Hitler? Who backed Hitler? See, I didn't know this until I worked with a man that was in Germany and escaped. He and his mother escaped Germany and got into the United States. And he and I were in southern part of Texas. And there's in Mexico and in Texas, there's few cabs that's Volkswagen cabs. Emil Connacht was his name. He and I didn't get along very well because we'd get into areas and he'd start speaking Spanish or German or what he'd speak. I don't know how many languages. Very smart man, and I'm in. I mean, he's a higher grade than me, but I'm in charge of the program or the project that we was working on. I'm in charge of it. So we'd go in and he'd start talking other language and me not have any idea what he's saying. And I told him one day, I said, Emil, you either speak English while I know what you're saying to these people, then you and I don't work together no more. And he was very mad and upset because he was saying things that I was having somebody else, an interpreter, saying to me what he was saying, and it definitely wasn't the program which I was interested in how I was wanting to get it done. But anyway, he would not get into a cab, a Volkswagen cab, would not. If it was the only one there, he would not get in it. And I asked him, I said, Emil, why? Why won't you get in this Volkswagen? He said, Volkswagen is a family name in Germany. And Volkswagen was the one that financed the war for Hitler in World War II. Okay, now I understand. And so today, we've got a company that's in Tennessee, that's in Germany. So should German quit buying Volkswagens? So if Ford moves to Mexico, should we quit buying Fords? And everybody says, well, wait, let's isolate ourselves and let's just let's not let Fords go over there. The thing is that you've got to be able to be competitive. And some of our rules, and now this is one of the things that I'll agree with a lot of people out there about the government intervening too much is whenever you, I guess OSHA, your safety standards and stuff like, there's so much difference in other countries. And I worked for Westinghouse Electric for 3 years. And if you went to the tool crib to get a box of nails or a hammer, whatever, you had to have someone going with you. You could not go anywhere in that facility, and it's a big facility in Muncie, Indiana, without two of you walking, spending whatever much time doing this, and to do one job. I mean, any one job, no matter how small. To operate a crane and to direct a crane above an overhead crane, you had to have two people. One is directing, the other one's watching you to make sure you're safe. And so instead of paying $4, $8 an hour in Mexico to build a car, you pay $60 and $70 an hour in the United States. Now, we want those jobs here, but we have to, if we just let up on some of those safety things, we, instead of paying $70, we can probably pay $30 or whatever. And it makes a big difference, and that's the same way with most of the things that's moved out. It's not our government fault altogether. It's our unions, and I believe in the unions. But it's us. We'll go, and I'm guilty too. We go to Walmart, and Walmart buys in such great bulk, or they produce their own stuff. Great value. Great value. They produce their own stuff, and you have, and their stuff is not #1 quality stuff. I'll tell you that right now. I know, because the last project I worked on was putting Levi Strauss garments into Walmart, and I don't know whether you can even get them in Walmart anymore or not, but I know that's the last thing I worked on in 2000. Instead of making 13-ounce denim, in order to meet their demands and prices, we had to go to an 8-ounce denim. In some cases, even a 6. I mean, we went from a good quality product to a rag. It's something that will wear out. And at one time, Levi Strauss, when you bought a Levi Strauss garment and you kept the tag that was on that back pocket, they would replace that thing if it bursted at the seams. Now, you could wear the knee out or whatever like that, or cut a hole in it, but if it burst at the seam, they would replace that garment no matter how long you had that garment. It was a lifetime thing, but it got to where so many people got educated about that, they had to quit that. Now, I've sat here and talked for 20 minutes without a call, but I've run my mouth and got some stuff off my chest about, because there's no way that I can even think about Donald Trump being elected. I can't even think about him even getting the Republican nomination. And like I said, John Kasich would be one that I could vote for, because he did balance, and he's a very, very smart man. When he went to Ohio as governor, the first couple of years trying to get things turned around in a different way of going, and mostly Ohio is mostly a Democrat state. I mean, they was about to impeach him, but he kept his way, and whenever he run for the second time, he got like 60-70% of the vote. So it tells you something. In an industrial state, he's good for business. Now I'm ready to talk about anything you want to talk about. I've got that off my chest about Donald Trump. I just can't believe that how many people and how many You can't turn TV on without hearing about Donald Trump. And I'd like to know, I mean, he might have $10 billion, I don't know. But he can't do what he's saying he will do. He can't do that. So why we're falling all over ourselves about Donald Trump is beyond me. Now, is there anything that's going on in Campbell County? And I don't know what we can talk about. If you could vote today, if the election was coming up to next week or whatever, for your county commission, for your mayor, for your all your office holders down there, how would you vote? How would you vote? Would you vote the same way? Would you change your vote? Now, I've heard, people say, well, the office holders down there make too much money. Now, the people that's elected, those elected positions, those are mandated. Our state government tells them what this county has to pay them. And it goes by population. Now, there is something here in Campbell County that I don't understand. I don't understand. There's a auxiliary courthouse here in La Follette. Jacksboro courthouse down there is just, 4 miles or 3.5, 4 miles from this court. And Jellicoe is part of this county. The last time I was sure about that, this county is like it's 2 different counties. This total, Jellicoe's on the other side of the mountain. They vote totally different from what this side of the mountain. And it's evident. You got 2 elected positions here that the people over on that side of the mountain weren't even close. And they have 1/3 of the population over after you go up this mountain and the spine of that mountain on the other side. Is it even 1/4 as many people? But folks, most of the time they elect their officials on the other side of the mountain, in recent times anyway. Because over here, you guys are basically 2 or 3 running, and over there, there's usually just one that honestly lives in that neighborhood over there. And then they'll, when they vote, they'll get 70, 80, 90% of the vote over there, where there's not one person over here that gets even 50, 60%. So they can offset that by they're sticking together over there. And I know there's 2 offices down there that's that way, for sure. And so politics is very important here in Campbell County and in Scott County. It's very, very important, and it's something that we all need to be involved in. Now, I'm kind of looking at the clock, and because last week Mr. Henson and I were talking, and I'd like to strike up that conversation again because we talked a little bit off the air. You're on the air.
Hello, Ariel. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
I wanted to know if you have seen that, they call it CERN, that's going on in Switzerland. It's a big, huge tunnel that they have only put so much power into it, and there's scientists that says they don't know exactly what will happen, but it will be bad, and they're supposed to do it full force the 27th of this month. I've seen it, watched some of it on YouTube.
Now,
It's CERN, CERN. It's there in Switzerland.
oh, what is it supposed to do?
They call it protons and whatever in it. It's 300 feet below the ground, and it's huge around, and it goes for miles. But I don't know exactly what it's supposed to do, but they said it would be a disaster when they do it full force.
I've not heard anything about that, and I watch 2 hours or 3 hours of news every day.
Well, look it up. It's spelled CERN, CERN, and it's in Switzerland.
Oh, okay.
Where they got it, and I've watched 2 or 3 things on it, and they said on the 27th they were going to do it full force, and there were scientists that were on there that are against it, said it will be bad, said they don't really know what will happen.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, I bet you if there's anybody in this county that other than you would know anything about that, it would be Jerry, because those kind of things he's always looking up, and Hazel Valley. So if one of them would give me a call, we'll
I'd like to know more about it.
That's interesting. I'd like to know myself. But that's very interesting. Do you know that if they were already working on a project through Oak Ridge at let's see, it was White Oak Ridge. That's over where the dump or landfill is at, going into Knoxville, Chestnut Ridge or something. I believe it's Chestnut Ridge. And on the left-hand side there was rock. They were going to be putting in something there that would be able to split, I don't know, atoms more. It's supposed to be a long underground thing there. And whenever he lost the election, that project died.
Well, back when, not long ago, in Japan, when they had that typhoon, that was when that they just barely sent, some of it through. That happened, and the scientists were saying that was the cause of it.
Oh.
So they said they didn't know what would happen on the 27th when they do it full force.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned protons there. In Knoxville, there is a place over there that has proton, I guess, treatments for cancer. And I don't know how that works either. I truly don't.
Well, it said something on there, they called it a black hole.
I don't know nothing about it. I really don't, ma'am.
But it was interesting.
Well, it would be something that I would be interested to see or listen to. Okay.
But you can look it up. It's under CERN. And it'll come up, and it's in Switzerland.
Okay.
Okay, if anybody knows anything, more about it, I'd love for them to call in and, let us know.
Okay.
If they know anything about it.
I'd really like to know myself.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, it's time for a break again. And Mr. Henson, if you're watching, I'd still like to take up that subject that we were talking about last week when I went off the air, when I needed to leave. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare, those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
Welcome to Razax.
Razax has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call Razax today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Okay, again, folks, you know, how many times can I say it? If you want to have a good time, I mean a good time, and I'm talking about it's family orientated. It's not, I mean, you might see somebody with a one of those little cup holders or something that might have a beer in it or something like that. You don't see people out of step. They take care of that quick. Also, your outdoor Tennessee, all your ammunition and your guns and all that stuff, they can take care of that. Also, your True Value Homes, they can take care of that. You've got property. Those are people that can, and I just hope you'll stop by and see all these people when you over there. Hey, you're on the air. I'm good to hear from you before it's time to go.
Hey, look, I forgot what we was discussing last week.
Well, we were discussing politics a little bit, and we were talking about, actually, I believe at one point we was talking about the lady in Kentucky.
Oh, okay. So that last, your last caller there, that she made mention about this thing, and she, I believe she said Sweden?
Switzerland.
Okay. There's a thing that the nuclear scientists and physicists have been working on for years. And what it is, it has to do with particles, and to where you shoot a particle into another thing like an atom, and you split that atom. And there's one in Oak Ridge. It's called a splitation something other, neutron splitter or something. I know what, I can't repeat the words, but I've read on it. And I was thinking the one was in France and went to another country. It's a big loop is what it is, and they send this
particle to hit this atom, or an atom to hit a particle. I don't remember which one's the smallest, but anyhow, to split it, like you do in nuclear fission or whatever. Whenever you split it, you get heat off of it.
Uh-huh.
Now, they're doing this thing at Oak Ridge, and have been doing it for a while. And somehow, Oak Ridge has been having trouble with this thing. The target is made out of stainless steel that this thing hits. And the target contains, I don't know how much mercury, large amounts of mercury in this target part. And running full power, the problem that Oak Ridge has been having is that this target is beginning to get leaks. And they have to have an extra target sitting or on standby to where they shut this thing down and replace this thing. And I think there's all sorts of experiments in other countries, rent time or something on this thing, and I've read about it, but I can't keep it all in my head, how it works.
You know how what my little grandson says when he's reading? He says, if I don't know the word and it's a noun, I just say whatever I want to.
Yeah, just skip over it. Well, my understanding, and when I was keeping up with this that time, I haven't paid much attention to it lately. Now, I should have, considering what this lady said. But the one in Europe, they shot this particle, and they're shooting for bragging rights as to who can send a particle faster than the speed of light. And Einstein's theory is that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. And they're saying that they did shoot this particle or got it to travel faster than the speed of light. Now, you can't shoot anything that way. You must propel it with an electric like magnetic force. Because for every action, there's a reaction. If you had some way to shoot it, the recoil would be like a shotgun. You get what I'm saying? And the velocity would slow down. As soon as it left whatever you would call a barrel, it would begin to slow down. And this way, they shoot this thing with a magnetic system. It takes a lot of electricity and whatever to make it work. But what she's talking about probably, and I haven't kept up with it, they may be experimenting with this thing, and they're going to turn it up. From what I would gather or would think is they're going to turn this thing up full steam or full power and shoot this particle in excess of the speed of light. And when one particle hits another one, I'd say the question here would be, like whenever they were experimenting with the atomic bomb, when you set up a chain reaction, how do you know where it's going to stop at? If you start splitting things and they split it in excess of the speed of light, you may set up a chain reaction that you cannot control.
And how do you stop it?
Well, that's the problem. If these particles all start flying off in excess of the speed of light, how do you stop it? Because every time a particle hits a particle, you just, like say, you've got heat and whatever. But anyhow, this is getting way out there.
Well, I'm telling you, we're sending stuff way out there. We got stuff that's out there at satellites is so far away that it's taken years to just send back the pictures.
Okay, those pictures are traveling to, I don't know whether they travel at the speed of light or not. I'm getting off on all kinds of things. The fastest thing we have right now, I believe that we can send a signal, and it may be right now, I can't think on it right now, we may be able to send a signal through the air like a radio wave, and I don't know it doesn't travel at the speed of light, because if it is, it proves this theory, what we're talking about is irrelevant.
Right.
But the fastest way that I know of right now that we can send data is through these fiber optic things. The fiber optic is faster than sending it by wire. But not so much, but by a little bit.
But what about wireless?
Well, see, if wireless was traveling in excess or at the speed of light, that would prove this theory of sending an atom in excess of the speed of light. Well, you got me there. I'd have to read up on it.
I don't know. But now let me get back. Now, and another thing, we were talking about the lady, and we're talking about Trump.
Okay.
And now, have you anything that you've seen that's swayed you away from Trump, or was you ever with Trump?
Well, I think Trump has got some good ideas. He's very entertaining. As far as level-headed, whatever, I think Dr. Carson would be more of a, I don't know what you say, a leveled-off type of thinking. I don't know what words to put with it. But what Trump is doing, he's in a kind of unique position to where he can say what he thinks without having political repercussions. And anybody that's been in politics, and even if you think good or bad of them, they are definitely influenced by other people and other situations. And they have to make their decisions accordingly.
Yeah. Well, you know,
money has to do with it.
I've heard people mention about how much money that Hillary Clinton has. Do you know that the woman over on the Republican side, Florina or whatever her name is, she has more money. She's the second richest person in the race.
Next to Trump, of course.
Next to Trump, yeah.
Okay, on the Republican side.
Right.
Okay, now, Hillary or the Clintons, let's put it that way, their foundation is valued in excess, or does hold in excess of $2 billion.
Yeah, I don't doubt that a bit.
Okay, now her foundation, and we can say whatever we want to about it, her foundation, her daughter is employed by the foundation, and the foundation is putting money in, and the money that's coming into this foundation, I think there's a whole lot of stuff that the general public knew about what has happened and what's going on. And of course, our memories are very short.
Well, can they actually, in that kind of trust, can they actually use that as a political to support it? I don't think that they're allowed to use that money in a and then they don't have to, because there's no question she got so many donors. But the second richest person in that race. But you know who the richest elected politician there is in America?
I'd have to think on that. I don't really know right off the top of my head.
Well, I'm going to tell you. He's our governor.
Our governor.
Our governor is.
I got you. Yeah, I see where you come from. That's right. Because, and yeah, I'd agree. Let me go back to another thing on this foundation.
Okay.
Everybody has just about forgot the deal that was put together with Russia that sold 20% of our known reserve of uranium to a Russian company. Do you remember that happening?
I remember that. That's been 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, now do you know who put this together?
Might have been Clinton.
Yeah, that's right. It was the Clintons put this together. And the company somehow is a relationship to family. Hillary's 2 brothers or something are tied up in this thing somehow. And I read it, and a lot of this stuff, I read tons of it, but I just mark it off because it don't mean anything to me. But let me go back to another thing. We'll hit all kinds of things here, and then we'll get away from it or whatever you want to discuss.
Well, there's a lot of people out there, and let me just say this. I believe there's a lot of people out there right now that's either not turning me on or they're listening, but they're not participating because of I guess because I say, and it's election time, that I'm basically a Democrat, and I've never run from that ever since the day I've been here, have I?
No, and you know, from the first conversations I believe I had with you, I tried to stress that putting an R and a D in there really messes things up.
That's true.
Where we need to be looking at issues. But we have a lot of issues going on right now that people are not paying very much attention to. And one of the key ones right now that's going on today is the armaments that Russia are putting into Syria. and people are not paying attention to this. They're building a Russian, basically, they're taking a Syrian air base there and turning it into a Russian one. And they're putting heavy armament. I'm talking about tanks, anti-aircraft, they're putting in APCs and all this stuff in there. And what I think, or what it would appear to me, that Russia is going to move in there and they're going to let all these other people do the fighting or whatever, and they're going to supply some armaments or whatever to the fighting both sides. And after it's all said and done, I think that Russia will come out the winner in this thing, and they'll take that part of the Middle East or whatever they're in Syria.
Well, I got something that I don't know whether it surprised you or not, but there's a person that corresponds with me quite a bit. I mean, he thinks Putin should be our president.
Well, I haven't given that any thought, but I just heard this tonight or something.
He thinks he's a real he-man. Go ahead.
I heard a little clip where that Obama was saying he was warning Russia not to, or something, you know, like he always draws that line out there or something.
Yeah.
About Syria. Now, I don't think Russia cures one bit or the other, but let me show you something that, if you just stop and think about it, in Cuba, you know, the missile crisis years ago.
Right.
What would you think would happen if Russia moved in, started putting armaments into Cuba now, at this time?
I think, I mean, I'm serious too. I think it probably wouldn't turn out to where, because we'd probably go to war.
Okay, do you think that we would declare or go to war in Cuba, just over Cuba, it's a little whatever, and the collateral damage of the citizens? Now, see what's happening. Well, we're talking about all sorts of things here.
Yeah.
But that's just that thing crossed my mind as to how it would be dealt with today, if it happened today. But now let me show you something. All these refugees that are coming out of Syria, there's something about this thing that doesn't look right. Now, if you notice all that group of people, if you notice, you see no elderly people, and all these people are coming in, or I don't.
Well, I've seen some, but not like it. No, in fact, about it, most of the older people are dead over there because they Assad killed them with gas and bombs and everything else. You know, in those poor areas.
Uh-huh.
You remember how? I mean, it killed thousands.
Now they're using aircraft. Where did Assad acquire these aircraft that's bombing these places?
Well, I would say some of them probably at the beginning was come from out of Iraq, where we left them.
Well, there's all sorts of things here, but now let me ask this question, and I know this has been brought up. These refugees that are coming out of Syria, what's the possibility that some of those are ISIS?
Oh, I mean, I've thought that too. You know, they make certain things and do certain things in order to create the. I mean, just like I really do believe, and I might be totally crazy. I think this thing with the emails with Clinton. I think the Clintons and the Democratic Party done this in order to get it out before there was a general election, because they still, I mean, and in my mind, there's not anyone out there right yet that can, and Joe Biden cannot beat Clinton. I don't think Sanders can beat Clinton. And I couldn't be for Sanders. If he wants to get the nomination, I couldn't be for him because I think he's too far to the left. I mean, he's an admitted socialist. And you know, we got a lot of socialist programs, and I do Social Security, a certain amount of welfare, food stamps. Those are social programs. And I well, thank God in Greyhound, that whenever I was a kid, if it hadn't been for the food program and that commodity cheese and powdered milk and stuff, there have been days that my family went hungry.
Well, I understand, but the other side of this thing is, it's like yourself, you figured a way out of it, but a lot of our society has not figured a way out. And if I could be a little facetious or whatever here, I believe I would vote for Obama again, because if you look at our unemployment right now, we're down to, is it 5.1?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I mean, everybody's working, there's plenty of work, and we're not at war. We've got a great treaty there with Iran. They're not going to get no bombs, and we don't have to worry about nothing there. And we got this big trade treaty coming down that we got it made. We got nothing to worry about. So all we have to do is just change the Constitution a little bit. And Obama said if he could run, that he could win another election. So, you know, right there, we could stay on the good road that we're on now to prosperity.
Well, you know that Constitution was changed once before because of Roosevelt, but I wouldn't want to see another Obama's administration.
Well, I mean, look at the road we're on. We're on the road to prosperity. We're doing great.
But I really do think we are.
Well, we are. With the unemployment rate at 5.1, that's the lowest it's been in so long. It's unbelievable. But anyhow, it took a lot of your time.
Well, I've enjoyed it. This is the first time that we've got to talk and just ramble whatever we wanted to say, and I like that.
We go to so many subjects, we forget what we start out on.
Yeah. But I appreciate that, buddy.
Okay, I thank you for your time, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay. Now, I had a call from one of the guys earlier tonight, and we were talking about Trump, and I'd like to hear from him again too, because you're on the air.
Your friend, whoever he is there, said he wished Putin was the president. If I see him, I would tell him I'd rather see him go to Russia and live there with Putin rather than stay here and bring Putin over here. I believe I'd take that choice, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's the way I'd rather see it too. I don't have anything for Putin myself.
Well, I know it.
He's a bully.
He's a bully hardliner from way back.
Yeah, appreciate your call.
Thanks.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy.
Hey.
Hey, I just sent in yours and that previous caller, not the last one, but the one before. I just sent your names in to Norway over there to nominate you two for the Nobel Prize in Physics.
Okay.
You guys solved the particles going faster than the speed of light tonight, and by God, I'm proud of you. I sent your names in. I nominated y'all for that Nobel Prize in Physics.
Oh, okay.
I think that is Norway, isn't it, or is it Sweden?
It's Helsinki or something like that.
I don't think yeah, that's Norway. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you two are. I think you solved a big physics problem tonight on that particle, propelling them particles.
Well, honest, wasn't they supposed to have been doing that over at Chestnut Ridge? And Gore, they had started actually cutting the side of that hill over there where and that has that rock at so hard granite or close to granite rock over there, and they were starting to drill and going to put one of those things in over there, but that stopped whenever Gore got defeated, and it must have the money must have went to Sweden.
I went into his pocket for global warming.
Oh.
Hey, I'll tell you what, there's so much BS out there in science right now. It's horrifying.
It is.
I mean, like dark matter. You know, somebody come up with this theory that dark matter is what's holding the universe together and all this stuff. I tell you what, I've seen some dark matter, but thank God she moved out. Hey, you had a great show. I have really enjoyed listening tonight. You really touched a lot of areas. And the Bilderbergers, you've heard of them, haven't you?
No.
They had their meeting. It's a conglomeration of some of the most powerful people in the world. Wealth, media, banking, industrial, political leaders. But they had their secret meetings. See, they never let anyone attend their meetings except the members. And they had their meeting in Austria recently, and they settled on Jeb Bush for President of the United States. And they're real upset with Trump. He's upsetting the apple cart. See, he's not under their control. He's an independent. And they got to have somebody they can control. Have you noticed that central banking became a real strong phenomenon last century, at the beginning of the 20th century? We moved towards centralized banking around the world, countries all over the world, and at the same time, we had the worst wars we've ever had in history. I mean, it's like the 20th century wasn't nothing but warfare, and it's continuing now. When the bankers, the people who control the wealth, also want to control warfare because they make so much money off of it.
Right. And
that's why I like to, John F. Kennedy was the greatest Republican we ever elected. He kept us out of war 6 times. They were screaming, go to war, his advisors. And he used diplomacy and negotiation, and 6 times he kept us out of war. Over the Berlin Wall, over the Cuban Missile Crisis, 3 times in Vietnam, twice in Germany. I tell you what, the man was brilliant in keeping the Americans out of war.
I can remember him stirring down Khrushchev.
Yep. Well, Khrushchev had to make a deal with JFK because the KGB discovered there was a plot at the highest levels of government in Washington, D.C. to assassinate JFK. And Khrushchev knew he could not deal with Lyndon Johnson, that it would be war. So they had to settle that missile crisis while JFK was still alive. I mean, a lot goes on that people don't read in the headlines every day.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you.
Appreciate your call.
Your show has been great tonight. Your callers have been great. We're just proud to have this over here every Monday night.
See you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Folks, don't forget, now, it's going to be a super good time in Scott County this weekend. And dirt cheap if you like concerts. And I guarantee you, there'll be many, 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 many young goers from Campbell County that'll be in Scott County this weekend, Friday and Saturday. And like I said, get your tickets, get them early, and folks, everything as far as campsites and all this, from my understanding, they're already sold out. I mean, that's how big it's going to be. And there's acres and acres of places to park just on the main grounds itself, not counting the auxiliary places. It's 60 acres, and there won't be a spot. I mean, a spot left. And then there's several other auxiliary places, and those places where they have hookups and stuff, it's already sold out. So if you like large crowds, you like loud music, and a lot of beautiful girls, boys, they'll be in Scott County this weekend. Also, if you're coming over, it doesn't matter if you're 18, 19-year-old, stop into places that advertises with me, like your True Value Homes, and your Tennessee Outdoors, and go by and eat at and Razak's. I'm telling you right now, you cannot beat their food. And the only thing that I complain about with their food, sometimes they just don't give you enough. But if you look like me, you understand. Sometimes I can eat a lot of food. And also, you know, if you're just a young newlywed or whatever, you need a washer and a dryer, big savings. We're talking about 30% savings on a washer and dryer. This is Amana by Whirlpool. Check them out. And they have good financial backing also. So you can just get that. Tell them Mario sent you, and I greatly appreciate it. Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week.